YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And today is a very great day. And today I have my friend and brother with me, Nana Beidou, and we decided to record this simply because we had a discussion like about 30 minutes ago, and we're talking about finance, money, and he was asking me some questions. So we decided to record it so that through our discussion, all of us can be able to learn together and then win together. So before we get into it, I'll let him introduce himself, and then he says that he has some questions he wants us to discuss, and definitely we'll do it, and I hope it will be a blessing to you. So yeah, over to you, my brother.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. So my name once again is Beidou Nana Latte, but you can call me Nana Beidou. You can check up on my social platforms. And yes, truly, I was having a discussion with my brother on finance, and I believe, first, I'm a believer, and apart from Christ, I think the next thing is money, like how we can, get more and more and more day in and day out. So that's been it. So I was asking him questions on finance, and so my question was like, how can a person multiply the little we have? Because sometimes if you have to depend on the little you have for the future, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. So how can you multiply the little you have?
All right, thank you. So the only way to multiply your money is by investment. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that this mystery is found in the Bible. It's still in the Bible, Matthew chapter 25, I think verse 14 downwards. Jesus Christ was given a parable of a master and then his 3 servants. The Bible says that when the master was about to travel, he called forth all these 3 servants, and he gave unto the first servant 5 pieces of gold when you read the NIV rendition, and he gave unto the second servant 2 pieces of gold, and he gave the last servant a piece of gold. The Bible says according to their abilities. And something happened. The one who received 5, the Bible says he invested it to receive 5 more. The one who had 2 also invested it to receive 2 more. Now the last servant who had just 1 piece of gold, the Bible says he went and then dug the earth and then hid the gold right there. Now, when the master returned from his trip, he demanded accountability. The one who had 5 presented 10 pieces of gold, and then the one who had 2 also presented 4. And the Bible says that the master called them as good and faithful servants. But the last servant who went and then hid the piece of gold that he received, the Bible says that the master called him an unprofitable servant, simply because he didn't invest his money. He didn't put his money to work. The reason why many people are not able to multiply the little that they have is simply because they are afraid to invest it. Now, of course, you have to be able to check your risk appetite and all of that. You have to do your due diligence. But for the fact, you have to know that the only way you can be able to multiply your money is by investment.
All right, sure. Thank you. So the only way we can multiply the little we have is when we invest. But the reality is there's a lot of investment out there.
Right.
And, as we're having a discussion now, it's like we have to make this so simple for each and everyone to know the right investment. So then, you being in this field for some time, and I believe you've made some right investment.
By the mercy of God.
By the mercy of God, yes. I know you don't take God out of the equation. Same as I believe every believer out there. So what are some of, the great investments you've made with a little, you had or you still have in whatever you are doing?
All right, thank you.
A clear example.
Okay, so I'm going to cite some examples of what I've done personally. So I think 4 years ago, I bought an acre of land for about 200,000. So I made that payment. Now, just
in the state or
no, this is in Ghana.
back home? Okay.
Yeah, this is 200,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
It was an acre of
Equivalent
land.
to how many dollars? So people.
That should be around maybe 20 to 30,000 US dollars.
Makes sense.
So I bought it, and guess what? As at the time that I bought it, I was earning $16 an hour. So it was something little, but I decided to save and invest, because this was what Joseph told Pharaoh, that in the season that money is coming, abundance is coming, save and invest. So that was exactly the same thing that I did.
But I'm sure you were not even in your abundant moment, but the little
Right.
you got. Okay, so I think it boils down to my question as a little you have.
That you have.
So sometimes you need not to wait to get mad.
Exactly.
The little you have, you
Right.
still have to save and also invest. So I think, to my question means one way of investing is, acquiring, properties, land, especially at the moment if if you are fortunate to be within the African space, especially Africa, I believe is good. Even in the state too,
Right,
acquiring properties is also,
very, very
lands and all
important.
that. Yeah, it's important. But apart from that, what are some investments? I know people
So
want the
let
easiest
me
way.
right. So let me the story. So I bought the land for 200,000 Ghana cedis in this case. Now that exactly almost about a year, I went that I want to buy another acre of land, and then they told me that the price currently then is 500,000 Ghana cedis. So within the space of just let's say a year, and if I'm to sell the land right now, I'm going to make almost double. And right now, I don't even know what the price may be right now. This is like 4 years ago. So the money, the little that I had, I invested it into real estate. Now, there are other areas that I believe personally you should invest into. For example, transportation. The reason because every day we are coming out. There's a characteristic every human being possesses, which is movement. So when you invest into transportation, you are going to make money. It is a fail-proof business. You see that? So you have to do your due diligence. But in fact, even in the state, you can even invest into the S&P 500. And let me give a scenario. Let's say that somebody watching right now.
S&P 500, like what is it?
So with the S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in US that you can be able to own shares in it.
Okay.
So for example, if you invest, let's say somebody watching right now is 20 years old and the person intends to retire by age 60. Currently, the person does not have any amount in their investment, zero.
Yeah.
And they intend to invest $500 every month. So 60 minus 20, which is 40 years. So let's assume that you want to do this investment for 40 years. Okay. And then 40 years simply means that $6,000 a year, 500 by 12, $6,000 a year. So we invest 6,000 every year for 40 years. In other words, you've invested $240,000. But you know that if you invest into the S&P 500, which has roughly returned between 10 to 12% in the past 30 years, let's even assume that you invest this at 10% return on investment. By the time you retire, you're going to have $3,162,039. All other things being equal. So instead of me keeping that $240,000 I would have saved in the bank, if I decide to invest it, I'm going to make $3 million. And this is exactly the reason why those who chose this path, even in their old age, it seems that they are flourishing. I just made a video on my channel on the reason why some people are flourishing, even in their 60s, 70s, 80s. It seems that they still have abundance. Some of them did exactly this thing that we are sharing and we are discussing right now. So invest in the S&P for just $500 a month, which is let's say $125 a week, $125 a week. And then by the time you retire, so you don't even have to be an entrepreneur. However, when you decide to invest just $500, bro, we spend $500 on food, on sneakers, on things that we don't even need.
Yeah.
So when you pay the price, it's called delayed gratification that you are delaying now to enjoy. You see that?
Yeah.
So these are some of the areas that you can be able to invest your money into. As little that you have, and you can turn into abundance.
Thank you. So you just gave us a clear example of how we can invest with the little that we have. As a youth, even he used the age of like 20 years and, by 60, the profit you get means, you get enough to, help your generations coming in next to also enjoy it. And thank you for that. But I also want to drop this. There is this thing, a believer, there is this question I mostly get or discussion I have with other people out there. Right. There's this perception of people thinking that if you're a believer, there's no need for you to get more wealth. Because looking at the richest people we all know, like most of them are not believers. So do you have a talk on that? Do you have anything on that?
It's something that to take us like a long time period to be able to discuss it. And just to give you a little background, now during the time of Emperor Nero,